from 94.43 kwacha to 104.46 kwacha. Mirror's Consumer Affairs and Public Relations Manager Fitina Konje told journalists in Lilongwe that the hike has been done to allow electricity generators offer better services. The authority last affected electricity tariffs in 2019. Two reports on human rights investigations by the Malawi Human Rights Commission have condemned conduct of Malawi Broadcasting employees. The reports were on the death of Blessings Nyondo, a polytechnic student who was shot in December last year, and the other on alleged sexual abuse at the state broadcaster. Among others, the report on the polytechnic student finds that an MBC security officer shot the student who was running away from thugs and was seeking safety in a vehicle that the security guard and others were in. The two reports have recommendations which MHRC Executive Secretary Habiba Osman says need full cooperation. Our reporter in Blantyre, Happy Njelomano, explains.
First to be released were findings in the shooting and death of Blessings Nyondo, former Malawi Polytechnic student who was shot in the eve of Christmas last year. The commission said that the late Nyondo was shot by a security officer for Malawi Broadcasting Corporation, and he died at Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital in Blantyre on January 8th. In its recommendations, the commission said that MBC should discipline this security officer for the action that he took. And another recommendation that was made was that parents and relations to the late Nyondo may take to court state for compensation for the death and loss of their relation. Now, after making that submission, the commission went favor to release findings in the investigation that it carried out on sexual abuse that were reported at the Malawi Broadcasting Corporation. And in its findings, the commission found out that the former Director General of MBC, that's Obre Sombreta, sexually harassed about 8 female employees of MBC in his office on several occasions. The commission said that about 8 of them complained, but only 4 testified, while the rest excused themselves from testifying, citing the repercussions that they would have met because they have testified. Now, on these findings, the commission made some recommendations by ordering the board of MBC to reinstate all the female employees who resigned, and some went on an early retirement because of the unfavorable environment that was created by Sombreta. And another recommendation that was made was that a criminal investigation should be instituted because of what transpired during this time. So we also talked to the acting Director General of MBC, who said that their officer, security officer who shot the late Nyondo, will be disciplined right away, while the board will meet to map the way forward on the other recommendations. From Amaris Hotel in Blantyre, this is Happy Njelomano.
A faction of teachers calling itself Concerned Teachers Voice has faulted Teachers Union of Malawi leadership for planning to hold another sit-in protesting the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 rebuff to pay teachers' risk allowance. Chairperson of the group, Stafio Ichituguta, is accusing TUM leadership of misleading members and not being transparent in the handling of finances for the organization. TUM is pushing the COVID-19 task force to effect the allowance as agreed during a mediation talks convened by Parliament between the teachers and government. Alina Fimlamba has more.
We say stay away is not only the solution, respect the right to education.
Addressing journalists in Lilongwe this morning, the concerned teachers call on the leadership of the Teachers Union of Malawi, TUM, to concentrate on long-term solutions in their discussions with government. The group is against another stay away from work. The teachers have said this following a resolution by TUM to stage another strike because government has refused to put in monetary value their personal protective equipment. Chairperson of the concerned teachers is Stafio Ichituguta.
TUM leadership is not consulting its members, and it has lost its direction. It is not seeking views from its own members. That is why there is an immediate demand on fresh pause.
TUM gave government a 7 days ultimatum, which ends this Wednesday.
Lawyer for Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary Waponakita wants the court to dismiss an extradition process for the two, saying the Zodiak protocol on extradition, which the South African government is using, is not domesticated. Kita says the treaty is not yet approved by Parliament, hence his application. The state, through Director of Public Prosecutions, Dr. Stephen Kayuni, says is ready to challenge the request. Meanwhile, Judge Kenyatta Nyirenda has sustained an injunction restraining police from rearresting Bushiri. Moving on. Prophet Shepherd Bushiri says the death of his 8-year-old daughter Israel will make him trust God more than before, as he believes it is his will, considering that all efforts done failed to save her life. He said this in a televised special address after the passing of his daughter at a hospital in Kenya, where she was flown for treatment. They were initially denied clearance by government to have the daughter flown to travel to Kenya, where she had been the past 3 weeks. Chimomibadata reports.
Israela's death comes 3 weeks after she was flown to Kenya for medical attention. In a special televised address, Prophet Bushiri described the death of his daughter Israela as a big loss to both his family and his ministry. But he says he will not falter in faith.
That we as a church, as well as parents, did our part. We prayed, we fasted, we declared, and sought God to saving her life. But we believe that God's will is sovereign, and we bow to his purpose and to his will. And we believe that the devil has no power over God's children. And we believe that this could not be the will of the devil, but it is the will of God. And we bow to that sovereignty of God and say, let his will be done. We are a church that believe in miracles, that believe in healing, and that believe that Jesus Christ is the healer.
Lawyer for the Bushiris, Waponakita, told Zodiak his clients missed court appearance to allow the couple mourn the death of their daughter. For Zodiak, this is Chimwemwe Padata.
Police in the Central East region have embarked on a vigorous campaign to train officers on the best customer care service delivery to be applied on how they handle complaints. Commissioner responsible for the region, Irene Balua, says this follows feedback from members of the public who allege some police officers mishandle them when they want to launch complaints. She hopes good customer care service would promote public trust, which would strengthen security in the region. Noam Kubu reports.
Commissioner responsible for Central East Police Region, Alan Balua, says the Malawi police exist to protecting people and their property. But she observed that some members of the public have had issues with the poor reception, according to them, when they want to launch complaints in some police formations. This, she says, is the reason why the Malawi police in the region has embarked on the customer care service training across the region to ensuring that police officers conduct themselves in a professional manner.
We just want the police officers to be reminded of their responsibility to the customers, to the clients who go to the police formations looking for help. That they should treat the customers with the dignity that are required to receive when they are being assisted.
Speaking on the sidelines of such a training in Kasungu, Commissioner Balua warned the law will take its course against any officer breaching their code of ethics. The commissioner observed that good customer care service would help the public to trust their police, which would in turn strengthen security in the region. For Zodiak, this is Noam Kubu, Kasungu.
You're watching the news here on Zodiak. You'll be back with more after this.
To achieve great things in life, you must do little things every day, like the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate.
Sweet smile through your day with a fresh breath and strong tea.
123 with Colgate and give yourself a future to smile about.
Celebrate a low-price family Easter with ShopRite. Get more for your Easter feast with our low prices. Get deals like 2-3 strips of bacon chocolate Easter egg marshmallows for just 749 kwacha 99 tambala, and 130 grams Socado assorted chocolate Easter eggs for only 1,299 kwacha 99 tambala. There is more low prices for your family this Easter, only at ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust always.
Do your gums hurt?
Yeah.
Does your toothpaste contain sage, eucalyptus, myrrh, chamomile?
All that in one toothpaste?
Yes, try Colgate Herbal. Colgate Herbal contains nature's best herbs and Colgate's fluoride technology to give you strong teeth and healthy gums.
Ah, Colgate Herbal.
Let's go. Colgate Herbal for strong teeth and healthy gums naturally.
If there's one thing that all soaps do, it's wash. From buckets to basins, bathrooms to streams, and everything in between.
All soaps wash.
Yes, but Protex is different. Its reinvented formula with flaxseed oil boosts your skin's natural anti-germ defenses by 10 times more, protecting you against 99.9% of germs. So what keeps us healthy?
Protex!
Good health starts here.
Welcome back, and here are the top stories again. President Chakwera optimistic on economic restoration with new procurement measures focusing on promoting local businesses. Lawyer for murder convict Misozi Chantunya says will appeal against conviction and sentencing. ODPOD cries foul over low budget ceiling treasury slashes to 70%. In sports, Malawi national football team progressed to the 2021 AFCON Games in a game which was played today. Moving on with the news. Presidential Press Secretary Brian Banda hinted that President Lazarus Chakwera will be announcing his new cabinet within 2 days from this Monday. Banda is in an interview with ZBS also confirmed that President Chakwera is temporarily residing at Mtuntama residence in Ilongwe because state residents are being refurbished. Madali Sopiri explains. We'll give you that report in our subsequent bulletins. Lawyer for murder convict Misozi Chantunya says all is set for the appeal case against conviction and sentencing. Michael Goba Chipeta says skeleton arguments will be presented this week before court, waiting for a date of hearing. Emmanuel.
High Court Judge Ruth Chinangwa found Misozi Chantunya guilty of all 3 counts: murder, perjury, smothering and hiding burial of a dead body. This is what is Chantunya, through his lawyer Michael Gobach-Peta, would like to be viewed with supreme legal minds. He says the processes are currently at last stages for hearing of the case to start. But what are some of the arguments to be presented before the courts?
There are a number of arguments, but the essence of it is that we are challenging both the convictions as well as the sentences that were given by the High Court.
Misozi Chantunya was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment for murdering his girlfriend, Linda Gasa. For ZBS in Zomba, this is Emmanuel Chwana.
Let's now have a look at sports. Malawi national football team, the Flames, have qualified for 2022 Africa Cup of Nations tournament after beating Uganda 1-0 at Kamuzu Stadium in Blantyre. The Flames will be making a third appearance at the tournament, the last time being 2010, to be held in Cameroon in Eastern Africa. Sam Banda gives us an outline of the game. Apologies, we'll give you that report in our subsequent bulletins. With that item, we have also come to the end of our news bulletin, but before we leave, another look at the headlines once again. President Chakwera optimistic on economic restoration with new procurement measures focusing on promoting local businesses. Lawyer for murder convict Saulos Chilima says will appeal against conviction and sentencing. OD cries foul over low budget, ceiling Treasury slashes 70%. And in sports, Malawi national team has actually progressed to 2021 AFCON Games after beating Cameroon 1-0 today. Visit our website, zodiacmalawi.com, for more news. My name is Robert Kaluo. Thanks for watching.
My name is Teresa Temwekandanga, chairperson for the Media Institute of Southern Africa, MISA, Malawi. The world is going through a challenging period